日本時間5月27日、ドジャースの大谷翔平選手は、敵地で行われたガーディアンズ戦に1番 DH で先発出場しました。この日の大谷選手は、プレーボール直後の第1打席の初球、ガーディアンズ先発のギャビン・ウィリアムズ投手から2試合連続となる初回先頭打者本塁打を放ちました。メジャー単独トップの第19号となった本塁打は、打球速度185キロ、115.2 メートルの弾丸アーチ。この本塁打にガーディアンズ側の現地実況も思わず、打った瞬間、See you later、さようならという感じでした。と語りました。また、この日、先発マウンドに上がった山本由伸投手は、6回88球を投げ、3安打、2四球、2失点、7奪三振の好投で、今季6勝目をマーク。この投球にバッテリーを組んだウィルスミス捕手も、今年ずっと素晴らしい投球を続けている。今日も圧倒的な登板だった。と、称賛のコメントを送りました。ここからは、その様子を見ていきます。
And we saved the best news for last. Shohei Ohtani threw to live hitters yesterday at Citi Field in New York, threw 22 pitches over 5 at-bats, drew quite the crowd of onlookers. The expectation is for Ohtani to join the Dodgers rotation sometime after the All-Star break. D-Train, it feels like facing live hitters is really a huge step for Shohei Ohtani in his progression coming off the elbow surgery a couple of years ago. For him to touch 97 as well, really good signs for Shohei right now.
Well, the one thing of the development, they slow played the development. They did not rush him. Obviously, they know how valuable he is offensively in that lineup, and this is his second Tommy John, so I thought they did a great job of just slow playing it and getting him ready, and really just getting him not only comfortable with the arm strength, but comfortable with the mechanics as well. And as you can see with this highlight, man, that ball was moving like that. You got to check that baseball. But the one thing that I took from this, mound presence, the other thing was the stuff was moving all over the strike zone. I love watching it. And then the third thing was he looked like he was having fun out there on the mound. That's just something that he loves to be. And we know he's an ultimate competitor offensively. But, man, he is a weapon with stuff like that. Nobody wants to see him. And he drew a crowd of his own teammates and peers around there. And they started to have joy. And so seeing him command the baseball, seeing him have that slider and that nasty split, I think he's trending to the right direction, man. So super happy for him.
And G-Chain knows this. Anytime you see a pitcher throwing live to hitters, you're completely healthy. You are really kind of starting to get built up and be ready to make a start, hopefully in the near future. But good to see Shohei Ohtani facing his own teammates. We forget he is an ace. He's not a great pitcher. He is an ace. I know Yamamoto right now is our ace, but once Shohei Ohtani gets in the mix and he's in the rotation, he is as good as it gets on the mound. Should be fun.
Yeah, and Dodger fans probably feel like it's not even real because we haven't seen him pitch yet. He's been so good as a hitter in a Dodger uniform, putting up MVP numbers.
Yeah, you know, all the injuries now it heightens it seeing him back on the mound, that he's a true weapon. It's that you get him back and then you get some of the guys like Tyler Glass now and Blake Snell back in the rotation, it's going to be scary hours in that rotation once again.
Dodgers coming off a series loss to the Mets in New York. Today, Yoshinobu Yamamoto will try to help them get a win in the series opener against the Guardians as we head back to Cleveland. Kirsten joins us again live with more on Yoshi. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, in his last outing, we saw him be, of course, the ace of this team, but more importantly, the stopper at the situation. And he was excellent. 6 no-hit innings, 7 shutout innings, and the hope for him today is just to keep it going. Dave Roberts talked about what he wants to see from him today, as well as just the state of the bullpen heading into this series.
You know, this team, I don't know if they've seen him. Certainly haven't seen him much, but I think for me, it's just heavy left-handed lineup. I think he's going to be, you know, obviously command is going to be important. I think that the split, the curveball mixing in, and I think honestly just continuing to be Yoshinobu, and our bullpen's in a decent spot, but for him to still go deep and be who he is certainly going to be helpful and give us a good chance to win tonight.
Obviously, coming off of rain, different situations in New York, do you feel good about just kind of the protection that Yoshinobu would have today, or is really the hope for him to, per usual, eat up to kind of protect the bullpen?
I feel good today, but certainly, you know, so I think Ben Kasparis will be down, but outside of that, we're in a good spot. But obviously when you get a guy like Yoshi, your ace on the mound, you want to kind of give other guys a day off, and that so it doesn't bleed into the ensuing games. But yeah, I feel good where we're at.
So as much as it was a big series in New York, and of course it's a big one here in Cleveland against the Guardians, Dave Roberts does feel good just where the bullpen is at heading into this one. There was a move yesterday for Chris Stratton with optioning Bobby Miller. So for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he does have a good amount of protection today. They are only going to be staying away from Ben Kasperius, who took down multiple innings after that rain delay. So heading into this one, it's just for Yoshinobu to set the tone like he usually does, be the ace for this group, and maybe even being the stopper, even though they've only lost 2 games, guys.
All right, get back on the winning track today in Cleveland. Kirsten, thank you very much.
Well, we welcome you inside on this Memorial Day. Joe Davis or Hershiser. Kirsten Watson joins us in just a moment. The road trip continues for the Dodgers. They dropped 2 of 3 in New York. They've not played great lately. They've lost 6 of their last 9 games. They're 9-11 over their last 20. Trying to get it going here against a good team in Cleveland.
A very good team, and when you think about it, 2 wins here, you have a 500 road trip, that'd be solid. 3 wins here, and you sweep, and now you've had a good road trip. They can turn this thing around.
Try to get it off on the right foot with Yoshinobu Yamamoto. The last time they were kind of going through it, they had dropped 4 in a row. They handed the ball to him. He dominated, and he's been one of the best in baseball this year.
Yeah, overall has been very, very consistent, really elite, and he could sue for lack of run support over his 10 starts. This being his 11th, he all of a sudden has only had 14 runs scored, but the last start, he is a bona fide ace, and he is going out there tonight after a 5-inning outing by Gonsolin, a 6-inning outing by
Dustin
Knack last night. Apologize. And now tonight, to really give them a good start, I'd see 6 or 7 innings would be fantastic.
Dodgers have dropped 6 of their last 9 games, still 32-21 with a 1.5 lead over the Giants in the West. Ohtani climbs in. Williams has one that he likes, and off we go with Ohtani blasting a ball way gone. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 run. Ha ha!
He is a rare player, and he is not afraid to just, I haven't ever seen you, but I see the ball very well through those shadows with that swing. Put the Dodgers on top 1-0. What a player.
6:10 start time and a 1-0 lead at 6:10:02. Ball 1 on Mookie Betts, his 5th leadoff home run of the season. 2nd game in a row that he's done that. Now 19 overall to lead the majors. He is on his own level.
And with that, we are ready to go. A packed house, sold out for the 3rd time this year. Shohei Ohtani digs in. Wide stance, left-handed hitter with plenty of power. Tied for the National League lead in homers with 18. Smokes the first pitch. It's deep, and it is gone. Home run number 19 for Ohtani.
He led off with a home run in last night's ball game. And he's coming right back. This is the 3rd time that Williams has given up a first pitch home run this year. That is unbelievable. And there's a fastball. It's going to be down and in. And it's see you later. That's in off the plate. And boy, you talk about just 1 swing, 1 hit, and 1 run. Number 19 for Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani, guy that turns even the fellow superstars in the room and opposing managers into baseball fans, like baseball kids when he comes into town. Ball 1 from Williams. You saw Carlos Mendoza out on the field watching his live BP. He said, I've never done that with any other opposing pitcher, but this is Shohei Ohtani. And then he had Stephen Vogt talking the same way today. He said, hey, I love baseball. A guy like this comes in, I get excited to watch him play. And he said that this is the best case for expanded interleague play. So every town can see a guy like Ohtani at least every other year. 2-2.
And he might end up being the one that is the guy you want to come see the longest, as far as over a course of a whole career. You know, Darryl Strawberry had his time, Mark McGwire had his time, Barry Bonds had his time. But Shohei might be the guy that everybody wants to come out and see, take BP. Everybody wants to see play. Everybody wants to come watch him pitch, which could be soon. And he might do it the longest.
30 years old in his 8th year in the major leagues. Short count full here. The LA Tourism Board released a stat recently that 80 to 90% of visitors that come from Japan to LA come to see a Dodger game. This poll is, I mean, it's beyond baseball. On this payoff pitch, fouls it off himself.
He's not allowed to get hurt.
Nope.
Off the dirt, off the knee. Not as bad when it's a direct hit.
Plays off the high fastball, and so in these 3 matchups between him and Williams, Homer's on the first pitch. Williams then strikes him out, and then here, a long battle that ends in a walk. Let's check in with Kirsten.
Yeah, Joe, well, earlier you were hitting on just how moving forward he is going to be taking part in live BPs once a week. And he said that this is something that he's done before coming off of Tommy John surgery, considering this was a revision that he had in fall of 2023. So he feels really comfortable that he's not going to have to go on a rehab assignment. He's going to be good whether he's going to be facing some of his teammates, his big league hitters, if it's going to be at home at Dodger Stadium, bringing in some minor league hitters. But he said as long as the intensity of the live BPs, as long as he's getting his pitch count up, he feels like he'll be in a really good spot moving forward, and of course being available every day as the DH, guys.
As that pitching buildup has ramped up, his running has ramped down. 9 stolen bases over the first month. He's only got 2 in May.
Dodgers, I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., D-Train, Dontrell Willis. The Dodgers bounce back after dropping the final 2 games at Citi Field, New York against the Mets. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto did what aces do. He was the stopper today, picked up win number 6. And Jerry, for the second straight game, we saw Shohei Ohtani lead off the game with a home run. The difference tonight, the Dodgers tacked on 6 more and they cruise past the Guardians.
We talk about pitchers setting the tone. Well, Shohei Ohtani, he's also a pitcher, but he set the tone with the bat right away, 1-0 show Dodgers. Then Yamamoto was flat out dealing, really had his A game going.
1,000%. It was important for Yamamoto to be able to command the strike zone. He did that all day long. Went going 6 innings, striking out 7. He's truly emerged as one of the game's best big game pitchers, and he stepped up today.
Well, Will Smith also stepped up, had a couple of hits, including his 5th home run of the season, reached base 4 times in this game. Let's go to Cleveland and hear from Will Smith with Kirsten Watson.
Well, let's start with Yoshinobu tonight. For him just to pick up where he left off in his last outing, how impressive has he been this year?
Yeah, he's been great. He's been great all year. You know, another dominant outing by him. You know, just getting ahead of guys, putting guys away. You know, gave us really 6 strong innings, and you know, another really good start from him.
He's making defensive plays like the one over here at first base. Does that ever shock you, or he's just the athlete all around?
No, he's a really good athlete. That was a really good play by him. You know, big out, we needed it to avoid bases loaded, nobody out. So. Yeah, that's just him being an athlete out there.
When you look at the offense, just for you guys to be able to get things going up and down the order, taking walks, what does that say about this team, especially as you're trying to get things going coming off of that Mets series?
Yeah, that's, you know, something we've talked about, addressed. We've always done that in the past. You know, there's obviously times where you don't do that. So getting back to that, just being ourselves up there, you know, controlling the zone, grinding out a starter, getting in the pen early. That's what we did today.
But just to kind of pick up where you left off in the last outing against the Diamondbacks, how have you found just how in sync you've been on the mound and the results you've been getting as of late?
まあアリゾナ戦で投げた後から今日のまあピッチング、どういうふうに感じますか？
まあまた毎週毎週なんていうんだろう、気持ちを切り替えて、あまりこう前回のピッチングをなんていうんだろう、持ち込むことなくというか。そういった意識で毎週やってるので、まあまたこの新しい試合に挑むということで、また新たな気持ちでマウンドに上がりました。
Every week, every outing, I reset my mind, everything, completely reset, and then whether it was good or bad, I try not to take it into a next outing, and then just doing, take it in as I knew. yeah, every outing.
What was the focus for you and Will and how you guys were able to navigate through their lineup?
今日、キャッチャーのウィルとはどういう、ゲームプランみたいなものでこの打線に、対応しようと思ってましたか？
もういつも通り、バッターを見てそれに合った、試合の中でもちろん変更はありますけど、なんていうんだろう、いつも通りの、話し合いをして、いつも通り試合に入ってきました。
When we play, when he catches, and we have a kind of like a basic line, a basic plan, and of course we adjust in the game, so nothing was particularly a special thing we did, and then just we did what we do usually.
To go to the splitter more today?
今日一つそのいつもとちょっと違うことっていうかやったのはそのスプリットを多く投げるっていう選択肢があったんですか今日。
ただなんて言うんだろう、バッターに合った配球をしただけというか、なんて言うんだろう、特に意識して増やしたわけではないです。はい。
It was not consciously made that call. We just picked up the best pitch per hitters.
How quickly did you react on that bunt play to go record the out at first base?
Sorry, I missed the first part.
What was sort of going through your head during the bunt play? How were you able to sort of get to first base?
I think the third inning, right? 3回のバントプレー、バント処理であそこの処理をどういうふうにしようと思ってああいうプレーになりました。
本当はサードで、アウトするのを狙ってたんですけど、ちょうどいいところに、バントを決められてしまったので、はい、とりあえず一つ取れるように頑張りました。
Originally, ideally, I wanted to get the out on the third base, but the way like ball because it ended up, I thought that was our best choice.
First, just for Yoshinobu, for him to kind of just pick up where he's, continue to leave off. How are you seeing him, just especially with navigating through this lineup? What did you see from him today?
I thought very good today. I thought the command was really good. Mixed uses pitches really well tonight with the strikeouts early, soft contact. I thought, I don't know if after that play at first base, there was a little hip issue that he felt, and I don't know if that kind of got into the mechanics in that fifth and sixth inning. It just didn't seem as fine. And then for me, I just felt that we pushed him a lot his last outing, and so to kind of not push him to the fullest tonight made sense as he gears up for Sunday.
Is that something you think you're going to have to keep an eye on with him heading into his next start?
I don't think so. He said that afterwards he feels better, but I was wondering if that kind of could have changed his body in that moment in time with his delivery.
Did he strain it a little bit, or just sort of stretching for the tag? Or?
I think so, yeah, but no, he came out of it fine. It was just something in the moment of time that it might have kind of affected the exact command.
Williams had allowed, coming into the game, 2 first pitch homers on leadoffs. Was that just something coming in on the scouting report with Shohei, can really take advantage of with those guys?
No, I think that for him it was more of there's control over command. And it's a high velocity fastball, and he was set up away and yanked it down and into his nitro zone, and he hit a homer. But it's not something that, Shohei's always going to be aggressive early.
How valuable has Yoshi been? We seem to ask this after every start with all the concerns in the rotation.
He's been, you could argue he's been our most valuable player, given the people around him and what's happened. Versus, Shohei having a lot of other supporters around him on the offensive side, and Freddie as well. But, on the pitching side, just to be able to log 6 or 7 innings and kind of reset your pen, give us a good chance to win every time he goes out there, has been huge. And, I feel very confident in calling him the staff ace.
Every time you wake up on one of his days, you take a little deep breath and go, oh, World.
I do. I do, and I think that he senses that as well from me and his teammates, and so it is exciting when he takes a baseball, and you just see that. Obviously, the confidence, conviction, and certainly with him, the production.
いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。